Petra, you seem to be flourishing in your new environment. Is all going well for you?
Lady Edelgard, everything is well with me. Thank you for your question. Everyone shows great kindness, even while I am still learning about the language.
I'm glad to hear it. After all, a Brigid Royal like yourself is of vital importance to the future of the Empire. If you ever need anything, please let me know. It's my job to watch out for you after all.
If that is your want, I will rely on you if I have the need. However, I will not have that need. I can resolve any problems that occur by myself.
I don't doubt it. Perhaps I'm worrying too much. I just don't know what I would say to your family if something were to happen to you.
Do not spend your worry on me. In Brigid, there is a phrase we say. You cannot shoot two birds with one arrow. Brigid and I are that second bird. Your first target is your ambition. Can you disagree?
There is certainly truth in your words. I do have ambitions that transcend all else for me. When I ascend the throne, there are certain things I must do. Tell me, Petra, who do you think I am?
Huh?
I will tell you. I am Edelgard von Hresvelg, and yes, I'm attempting to do what no one else can. I'm prepared to shoot two birds, or even three, with a single arrow. That is the least of the impossible things I will accomplish. If you don't need my patronage, then prove it. Show me your power. Never settle for being the bird. Be the arrow instead.
I will take your words to my heart, and you will be seeing my power. I give you my promise.
With this idea, I may be able to get the one-up on Edelgard.
This again.
Hubert! I wish you would not sneak up on me like that.
Maybe you would be more perceptive if your mind were less burdened by sedition.
Sedition? Absurd. This is an important project.
Yes, I heard. A new way to prove how superior you are to Lady Edelgard. She is not your rival, Ferdinand. She is above you. A noble like you ought to know his place.
Anything is better than being a noble like you. Every time you open your mouth, it's Lady Edelgard this or Lady Edelgard that. Do you ever think for yourself? You follow her around like a pet. You spend all of your time fretting over her, and yet you never truly express an opinion of your own. Before you reprimand me, take a moment to consider your own failings.
Your nonsense is tiresome, so I hope this will be the last time I have to remind you. Lady Edelgard is the Imperial Princess. You are merely the Prime Minister's son.
Yes, I understand that. But my duty is to guide her, to give frank advice when she is on the wrong course of action. That is what I strive to do, always. Thus my devotion to surpass Edelgard, so that if she needs guidance, I will be prepared to give it. If you think it is tiresome to have a mind of your own, you will never be much of an advisor.
Does the river of filth pouring out of your mouth ever stop flowing? Your obsession with all things superficial is disgusting. It's no use. You're hopeless. I'll take my leave.
I have nothing more to say to you. Get out of here.
Well, this is fascinating. Following this equation...
Linhardt. Here again, I see.
Go away, Hubert. Now is not a good time. Ah, yes. The double line becomes a helix, and its arc... No, that cannot be correct.
Now is exactly the time. Lady Edelgard requests your presence. Come. The lecture is about to start.
Politely inform her that my research is vastly more important than whatever it is she has to say.
While your passion may be admirable, it is sadly misdirected. This matter takes priority. Return to your hobby when your duty is done.
Hobby? But this research will most certainly prove useful in the future.
The Empire requires you to be useful now. I should think you would want the same. You have an almost unparalleled intellect, a singular focus, and unfettered imagination. In truth, you have talents that many, including myself, will never have the privilege of possessing.
Are you complimenting me, Hubert? That alone deserves to be studied.
Let me finish. I haven't an ounce of respect for the cause you have chosen to waste your talents on, which changes frequently, I might add, with no rhyme, reason, or results. Learn to apply yourself to something constructive. You may still have a bright future.
That sounds suspiciously as if you're not going to leave me alone. I just want to live a life doing things that interest me. Is that so wrong?
That is unacceptable, even for a nobleman. Her Highness will soon ascend the throne. She is attempting to deal with such noble privilege head-on.
You have a point, and I understand where you're coming from. But I can't do it. I can't bring myself to work for someone else.
Pathetic. Keep to your books, then. Goodbye, Linhardt.
I'm not finished with you! I am Caspar! What's going on, Hubert? You need something?
I watched you training earlier. Pitiful display.
Excuse me? What's that supposed to mean?
You yell before every move.
I know. I do it on purpose. It's how I get fired up. Was that a problem for you? You scared?
Stupid habit. If you value your life, you'll break it.
What are you talking about? It sounds like you might have a problem with me.
As a matter of fact, I do. If it was only your own idiotic life at stake, I wouldn't bother saying anything. But it's not. Your foolishness hurts everyone.
Ooh, you sure do love to hear yourself talk.
Suppose you were to shout on the battlefield as you did in your training today. It is very likely the enemy could anticipate your next move based on your insipid blather. And what if your allies are startled by your outburst and fumble with their weapons as a result? This is not to mention the obvious fact that you would utterly botch any covert operation.
You really think I'm that stupid? I only shout when it's completely necessary. I don't do it all the time.
Whatever habits you develop in training, you will reproduce on the battlefield. Combat is tense and frantic. You will default to your training whether you mean to or not.
Hey, why don't you just shut up about it? I can control myself.
Being outside is so tiring. Tomorrow's gotta be just an inside day, Bernie. Whoa, why is it so cold all of a sudden? It's as if an unspeakable evil just...
You're late.
No, into the light! Back to the beyond from whence you came!
Are you telling me to die?
Hubert!
In the flesh. I came to ask you something.
Oh no, what did I do? Think, Bernie, think!
There have been sightings of a sinister figure carrying a sharp object, wandering the halls at night. A strange giggle, the glimmer of a needle in the dark, the sound of a door creaking open and closed.
I was embroidering.
I suspected as much. Then you leave me no choice.
What? No, I'm too young to die! I've got so much left to do! Please don't kill me!
About what I expected.
It's no good. I can't run anymore.
That was quite a sprint. A shame you lack stamina. Now to my duty.
You're going to execute me, aren't you? Please, let me compose my last will and testament. Or at least a swan song. The creak of a door. Sorrow like a needle point. Bernie's gone away.
Bernadetta, a word of caution. How would you feel if you fell or bumped into someone while carrying around that needle? Please watch where you're going in the future. How did you manage to faint while standing up? Well, I cannot simply leave her here. Completely unreasonable. How will I see to this?
Hubie, what are you doing here?
A routine matter. No cause for concern.
Ah, so it's something to do with 80 then.
And
She really is all you ever think about, isn't she? Look, I know you're doing all this so that she'll like you, but if you go too far, she'll end up pushing you away. Maybe even hate you.
this has nothing to do with swaying Lady Edelgard's sentiments. I am simply her humble servant. I do what is in her best interest. Whether she cares for me or not is irrelevant.
It really doesn't look that way to me. I bet you'd follow any order Adi gave if you thought it would make her like you. Am I right?
Any order? What a thing to suggest. But the answer is no. I will decline any directive that I deem would not be beneficial to her.
Is that right? So, just for example, if Adi commanded you to find yourself a suitable wife, would you do it?
If it would benefit her in some way for me to marry, then yes, I would marry.
It's easy to say that now with no bridal party in sight. But if it was the day of the wedding? Nah, I don't believe that.
I don't care what you believe. My only wish is to see Lady Edelgard fulfill her ambitions. All other matters pale in comparison.
Hubie, pale in comparison? You've seen too many operas. I don't think you understand how the world works. At all.
And I don't care what you think either. I would make any sacrifice to support Lady Edelgard. It's a shame you've never experienced such devotion.
You're right. I don't have anyone like that right now. But maybe someday I will.
Then maybe someday you'll understand. Until then, we will never see eye to eye. Now, if you will excuse me, I have much to do.
Hubie, I don't get you. Although I do find your point of view just fascinating.
Petra, industrious as ever, I see.
Hello, Hubert. Yes, I am trying to be industrious. I must be working hard to improve my position. Right now, it is not a good one.
Even accounting for that, your efforts are impressive. I wish a little of you would rub off on certain people here. One troublesome slouch in particular.
Rub? I will not be rubbing on anyone.
Not literally. I never would have imagined you would adjust so well to life in Fodlan. When I first met you, you couldn't understand a single word of the language. You had the look of a cornered animal. So much so I thought you'd grown up in the wild.
I had more youth then, and the experience was terrifying. My grandfather ordered me to go to Fodlan with suddenness. I was stolen to a strange land filled with strange people. The treatment I was receiving was like I was a strange beast.
It is unfortunate, but while you were called our guest, you were actually a hostage. You were meant to be insurance that Brigid would not restore its alliance with Dagda and attack us. The Empire required leverage, and after all, you are the Princess of Brigid.
It gave me sadness to leave my home, but I am not unhappy that I came to the Empire. I have learned much understanding from the outside world. My experience has made me become who I am. And meeting you and Lady Edelgard has had great value for me.
I admire your spirit in the face of adversity. You set a strong example to follow. and there is much more adversity to come.
Just look at this place. It's so beautiful, I believe I should take a nap and enjoy it properly.
Linhardt, lost in thought, I see. Unacceptable. Are you not aware that a noble's duty is to be ever vigilant?
Rest increases alertness. Is there something I can do for you, Ferdinand?
Well, I was just passing by, and I thought I could give you a little advice. You always seem to be napping. Why not spend your free time doing something productive?
Easier said than done, Ferdinand. I'm afraid I suffer from a constitution that tires easily.
Some training will remedy that. Let us work on that today. I will train you myself. Arise, Linhardt. The righteous path of the noble lies before you.
You're always giving it your all, aren't you?
Yes, I am. Is there something wrong with that?
Of course not. In fact, I rather enjoy your demeanor. You go all out even when others wish you wouldn't. You work hard, inspire the admiration of others, and your dignity as a noble is beyond reproach.
I consider it my mission to serve as a guide and a model for other members of the nobility.
As capable as you are striking. Next to you, I am a mere infant.
Oh, you are far too kind. Although I do work hard each day to achieve all of which you speak.
You've mastered all the important noble skills. You drink tea, talk about how great you are, ride horses.
Indeed. I went for a ride earlier today.
Is that so? You'll have to tell me about it sometime when I'm not walking away.
Where are you going?
I must get some sleep, being the infant that I am. Farewell for now, Ferdinand, oh noble among nobles.
Noble among nobles? Seems a bit much. Did he say get some sleep? Hey, wait!
That settles that. And don't even think about brawling around here again.
Impressive, Caspar. Well done.
Hey, Ferdinand, did you see that fight?
I saw it from start to finish. Both parties were at fault, disturbing the peace. Then you stepped in and corrected their behavior. You are setting a good example. I am proud to call you my fellow noble.
Your fellow noble? I wasn't even thinking about nobility. That had nothing to do with it.
Excuse me, nothing? Resolving conflicts among common folk is a duty of the nobles. Is that not what you were doing?
I guess so. But it was more like instinct or something. I saw people acting out of line and I had to step in.
Ah, you were acting on impulse. You might be better served following moral convictions rather than instincts. Take me, for example. I always bear in mind that I am a noble and behave accordingly. The fortunate must help the unfortunate. That is my guiding principle.
I never have any idea what you're talking about. If someone's in trouble, you gotta help them out. Simple as that.
A difference of opinion, you might say. Very well then. Believe what you will. I will not expend energy trying to change your mind.
Maybe all of this noble stuff just isn't for me. Hey, don't walk away when I'm talking to you.
Another fine day, alone in my room, and plenty of books to read.
Bernadetta, I have something to discuss with you.
What? I didn't do anything.
No need to be defensive. I am not angry.
Oh, you definitely are. I can tell. Just get it over with. What did I do?
You did not do anything wrong. Please, listen. Look, just breathe, will you?
Can't breathe. Too scared.
I see that you are struggling. Please calm down.
Easy for you to say.
I just wanted to discuss how you are always hiding in your room. It seems like something must be troubling you, for you to shut yourself away like that. If something is the matter, maybe I can help. But you need to tell me what it is first.
No, no thanks. I'm fine. See, I'm breathing out. You fixed me. Can I go?
Do you not realize that life is passing you by? Have you no desire to venture beyond this reclusive lifestyle? There is a whole world waiting for you out there. The social life of a noble is actually rather...
Just stop it. I'm not interested.
Bernadetta, this is unhealthy behavior. I beg you to take my hand, otherwise I will have to pick you up and carry you, and neither of us will...
What if I actually like being alone? Is that so hard to imagine? It's none of your business. Get lost!
Ugh!
Oh no!
Ouch! I sprained my wrist.
Oh no, 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 no. Now you've done it, Bernie. Now you're his eternal rival.
I do not wish to hurt you. Actually,
No! I'm done for! You'll be the death of me for sure!
maybe I should just come back later. Ah, Dorothea! The dining hall seems so much brighter with you here.
Ferdy, I must say you are quite adept with flattery. Please, give me some more.
Flattery? No, I was not... There you go with that attitude again. Why do you reserve such cold treatment for me and me alone? Do you hate me, Dorothea? Or have you some other reason to avoid my company?
I underestimated you. I assumed your noble upbringing had dulled your perception. But you got it right on your first try. I hate you.
Huh, I was right. Might I ask why you find me so despicable? I can scarcely guess.
Don't waste another minute thinking about it.
That will not do. I do not think you would hate a person for no reason.
Perhaps. How's this? If you can guess why, I'll let you know if you're right. The brains of us common folk are so simple, it should be pretty easy for a big shot noble to sort out.
Very well. I cannot walk away from a challenge. I have no choice but to chance a guess. You are always making fun, calling me a big shot and so forth. Perhaps you think all nobles are... No, it cannot be that simple.
Oh? What can't be that simple?
Please, will you not give me a clue?
Well, let me see. A good clue? I know. It's because you're like a bee. That ought to be enough of a clue. So long, Ferdy.
A bee? I haven't the slightest. Perhaps because I am such a diligent worker?
Ferdinand? Our professor is wanting to see you. He has much concentration right now. I will wait for him to be finished reading.
Diplomacy has an effect upon weapons development. Yes, that makes sense. Oh, Petra! How long have you been there?
A short time. You were devoting all of your attention to that book.
Forgive me, I was fully absorbed in my reading. I see you have been reading as well. Anything interesting?
I am studying the history of Fodlan.
A history book. What a keen student you are. And it's about House Hresvelg. Certainly a stimulating topic.
I am wishing to learn all about Fodlan. What is the book you are reading?
Oh, this? This relates to a little hobby of mine. The regional history of weapons development in Fodlan. Militaries have to adapt their weapons according to terrain and climate. And they have to keep up with technologies in other regions. It's very interesting.
Yes, it is interesting. I see why you would be enjoying that kind of reading.
Oh, does that excite your curiosity too? Perhaps you would care to read more about it then. This is just one of 18 volumes, and our library has the entire collection.
I give you my gratitude. Research of weapons could be a good reference for me. Oh, Please take my apologies. I was meaning to tell you that our professor is wanting to see you.
Oh, it is not like you to forget something. I suppose I ought to be going then.
Yes, it is a rarity that I forget something. But it is not impossible.
You're looking pretty tired, Linhardt. I think you could use a little more of the fighting spirit.
I believe you have enough fighting spirit for the both of us.
Enough? There's no such thing. You need as much as you can get if you're gonna train.
I'd rather pace myself. You're becoming too much like your father. I still recall with startling clarity the time he forced me to do some training.
I remember your father wasn't too happy about that. Our fathers actually got into a fight over it.
They hate one another so much. I simply cannot fathom what's wrong with the two of them.
I wish they'd just have it out already. One big fight to settle things. My father would win, obviously, but it would still be fun to watch.
That would be rather cruel. I don't think anyone in Fodlan could beat up your father. My father does have the height advantage, though.
Height advantage? What does that matter?
When two opponents are of similar strength, the one with the height advantage wins. It's pure math.
Whoever forces the other to submit wins. That's how fighting works. It has nothing to do with height.
Brute strength alone doesn't decide a fight. And taller people have longer limbs, too. Longer limbs equates to a longer reach. Taller people can hit you from farther away. Oh, and they have more leg strength. There's also that... Well, I'm bored explaining this. I think you get my point.
No, I don't get it. Now you're talking about limb length and reach? None of that matters when you're up close and brawling.
You know, I'm going to agree with you just so I don't have to keep talking.
If you've got something else to say, then come out and say it. Actually, no, forget this. I'll prove it to you myself. Some of those new knights look pretty tall. I'll fight one just for you.
And off he goes.
They're all so strong I couldn't land a single blow.
So it's as I said then, isn't it? The tallest fighter has the advantage. And my father could beat yours in a fight.
La 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 la. Such lovely weather for painting.
Bernadetta?
Who are you? Where did you come from?
It's just me, Linhardt. What are you doing?
Painting! Just painting. Not important. Am I in your way? I'm in your way. I'll just go. I'm going.
No need for all that. I just came out here to read. I'll stay quiet and still so as not to bother you. How's that? If you want to go, that's fine too.
No. I'll stay.
Say, aren't you usually holed up inside?
I'm sorry! I'm sorry for coming here. I'm sorry for bothering you! You're mad, aren't you? You look really mad. I'll just pack up. I'll be gone before you know it.
Mad? At you? Never. I rather admire you, in fact. I fantasize about shutting myself in my room and never going outside again. It sounds like paradise. However, I wouldn't be able to perform my research. That, Bernadetta, is a problem.
What? You admire me? Nuh-uh. No way. I know a trick when I see one. What are you plotting? So you want to copy me, is that it? And what's a copy do with the original? Replace it! Well, I've got you figured out. I won't just sit back and take it. I'll fight you!
What? That's not... This is too much hassle. I'm leaving.